Good morning. My name is Riegel, and I had the honor and the privilege to participate for my last year as a senior in high school in the MLK Oratorical competition. When I was given my topic, "The time is right," I began to think about what do we have the power to do? The time is right, but right for what? So I began to think about what power we have as American citizens. As you all know, we live in a democracy. And now what that's supposed to mean is that every single citizen of America is guaranteed a voice in our country. But as we all also know, that is not what has happened. So allow me to give you just a brief history of what our American democracy has looked like. Upper-class white men formed the pool that participated in the first federal vote in 1788. Less than 1.8% of the population cast those ballots. In 1821, property restrictions were lifted, expanding the pool to white men of any class. In 1870, black men were granted the right to vote, and in 1920, white women could too. In 1965, black women gained their right as democratic citizens, bringing the supposed end of voter suppression. That was 58 years ago. This is not ancient history. And today, in 2023, the end is still far from sight. I'm sure we're all here familiar with Dr. King's dream. He had a vision for an America of the people, all the people. In his words, "Give us the ballot, and we will transform the salient misdeeds of bloodthirsty mobs into the calculated good deeds of orderly citizens." But in our history, the bloodthirsty mobs have been calculated, and the vote is still not free. It began with voting sites in impoverished and predominantly black areas hit with gerrymandering, poll taxes, ID restrictions, literacy tests. And we still see these issues today. We may not have literacy tests or poll taxes, but now we have increased incarceration, heavy policing, ID restrictions, gerrymandering, and all of these things still affect our voters today. All of these things are in hope of suppressing the voters who have a democratic right as citizens of America to vote. And, in this past election, people of color in America reached record highs in voter turnouts. And yet, white Americans were the only group making up a percentage of those votes higher than the percentage of the population. This means that the officials elected into office to represent America, to represent us, are representative of a skewed population. Skewed in favor of white Americans. No voter should have to fight to execute their rights as equal citizens of America. We are still not there. The time is right to vote. Did you know that you are more likely to vote, or more likely to never vote if you don't the first year you're able? In the same way, you're more likely to never vote if those in your household don't. This isn't just a personal issue. It is our duty as the upcoming generation, or as those pouring into us, to set the example right. Voting is not an automatic fix-all, and there is much work to be done, but rights only exist as long as they are used. In spaces where social justice is discussed, we often see loud and disruptive movement, and this is necessary. It is crucial to make waves. But as Dr. King showed us, even in the quiet of a voting booth, sometimes the smallest pebbles make the biggest waves. The time is now to vote. Let your voice be heard. Push for necessary change in any and every way you can. Make a ripple, let's start some waves, and make Dr. King's dream a long overdue reality. Thank you.